Everybody, this is Henry Davis, and this is my challenge for Lesson 5. So, this week's theme was your favorite food, so I chose Italian food. But first, I'm going to bring in a background image. All of these images are stock, by the way, from Pexels.com, so they're royalty-free, so I'm allowed to use them for this project. But this is a background of Italy, just to, set the mood, I guess. So let me just pull that down, fit the screen, and we're good to go. Now, first thing I'm going to do is merge these two layers to make the background this image. And then I'm going to start bringing in other pictures as well. So I have some pasta here. Actually, before I do that, let me resize. Oh, that's a big image. Okay. Resize that. We'll say we want it to be about that big, and we'll center it real quick. Actually, I'm going to make it a little bit smaller. Put that right there. Then I'm going to throw some pizza in. It's actually a vertical image. I did not realize that, but we'll make it work. So make that about that big. Throw that right down the middle. And then grab the third image, which is more pasta, because we love pasta. And this one's more square. So different aspect ratios on these pictures, not a big deal. We're going to make it work. Because with the way I'm going to do this, it will not matter. There. Okay, so I want this to be about the same distance away from there. Actually, we'll make it from the edge. That looks about right there. Okay, so is the center? Yes. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to select, and I think I want a square selection this time around. I'm going to select a portion of these images that I want to show in my layer mask. So we're going to start with this one because it's the smallest and I think it's the best size for a window. Actually, Control do that. Before I even do that, I'm going to zoom in just a bit so I can better see what I'm doing. We're going to select this, and then we are going to click this button down here, which is the layer mask button, and just select that. So what that did was, oh, I have it selected on the wrong image. So what I did was I put the layer mask over here when the image in reality was on this side. So I'm going to Control Z that because I need to be selecting this image first if I'm going to be doing it that way. I'm actually going to make a few of these images a little bit bigger just so we can get the full effect of the layer mask at work. So I'm going to make that bigger. Control T. Oh, didn't select the other image. Control T. This one's going to stretch it a little bit, but that's okay. And finally, this last one. Okay, there we go. Now, the first layer mask I'm going to put in is on this image over here. So I'm going to select a portion of this image that's going to look rough. Say just there. I'm going to hit Layer Mask. And see how the other parts of the image just disappeared? That is the function of this mask, to help eliminate a certain part of the image. So in this situation, I don't want all three of my layer masks to be symmetrical, but the way you would be able to would be to unlink the layer mask, and then you can right click and add it to selection, and then just paste it in down here. I just normally use Control V. Or actually, no, I'm going to drag it, I think. Oh, whoops. How do you duplicate this? So you add the mask to selection, and then you just hit Layer Mask down there. There we go. And then that duplicates the layer mask, and you're able to move it around using the Move tool. Oh, come on. No, I want that. Oh, you have to unlink it first. Apologies. So I want to move the layer mask around using the Move tool, and see that opens up a little portion of our image. And that's if we wanted it to be symmetrical. I'm not going to make my layer mask symmetrical for this part of the assignment, so I'm just going to Control Z all of that out. And deselect that. So I'm going to create another one. It's going to be a little bit longer because that is just the nature of this image. And this might come out looking a little bit weird, but this is just a tutorial, so that's okay. So what I'm going to do is hit Layer Mask again, and that's going to eliminate that. I'm going to unlink this, and I'm going to actually move it up a little bit so it is just about flush with the other layer mask, and it's centered. And then I'm going to move the image itself within the layer mask and just get it so everything I want to be visible is there. So this acts as sort of a window in between your background layer and your topic of focus. So done with that. And then I actually think I want to copy this one to the, I want to copy the first one to the third window to make those the same size. So I'm going to add this mask to the selection. And then I'm going to click on this layer here and click Layer Mask. And then I'm going to move that mask, unlink it first, and move that mask all the way over here so we get the same dimensions as we did on the other side. And it's just going to make the plate the focus in this situation. So hit enter for that. And that's about it for what we learned using layer masking. And you can make textured backgrounds with this. You can color block. There's a lot of different features you can use with this. If you want to switch the switch whether it shows or doesn't show for the layer mask, I'm going to actually show this really quick. I'm going to delete this one. Oh, whoops, that deleted the whole layer. I'm going to delete this layer mask, and I'm going to redo it actually. I'm going to do a new selection, and then say I wanted to not show this area. So I'm going to hit X to switch my emphasis, and then I'm going to hit Layer Mask. And it should... Oh, I didn't delete it. So what it's going to do, if I hit delete, it's just going to delete this portion of the picture. Right? I have to rasterize it first. So this is a reason we would use a layer mask. We are going to rasterize the smart object and then select. Whoops. Well, I guess that works. This is just an example. So say I wanted to delete this portion of the picture. If I wanted to do so, I could just hit X, which would switch the focus from background to foreground, and hit delete. And then that would just eliminate that portion of the picture. But we don't want that. We want to have it be available to us later. So we create a layer mask, and that creates a window in between the foreground and the background. So that is my tutorial for layer masking. I hope it was helpful to whoever's watching this video, and thank you.